Authors Press.
Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. And on the line with us today, we have Albert Carroll. We'll be discussing his wonderful poetry book, Elgin Poet, Tick, Tick, Time. Available for purchase through authorspress.com. But guys, if you want to gather everything that Albert has in store, do yourself a favor and head directly to his personal site. And that's Elgin Poet by albertcarroll.com. Now, Elgin, traditional spelling, poet by Albert, all traditional spelling. When it comes to Carroll, that's C-A-R-O-L. So only one R, only one L. I know there's variations out there. But Elgin Poet by albertcarroll.com is the place you're going to want to go to gather everything that Albert has in store. And guys, if you didn't figure it out already, Albert was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by some of the best movers in the business. Authors Press Publishing. So if you have a book that you'd like moved, make sure you're doing yourself the best favor you could possibly give. You contact Authors Press. You can find out more information on them at authorspress.com. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Albert, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you so much for being a guest. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and I really look forward to this. And like I said, this pandemic thing has taken a little toll on all of us, but I think a good read would be a way to, get through all of it a little bit.
Absolutely. Albert, listen, you're spot on with that, man. A little bit of a light read can really, the barriers that it is able to knock down is incredible, okay? And this book is nothing short of magnificent, and we're really looking forward to all of the words of wisdom we're going to be able to take from you today, and also when we embark upon the journey within the confines of the book itself. Now, I know we have so much to cover, Albert, but before we go into the book, let's hold off slightly. Start by telling our listening audience a little bit more about yourself and your background, please.
I was born at Sherman Hospital in Elgin, Illinois, and I was raised and schooled in a small town of Hampshire, Illinois. It's 15 miles west of Elgin. I have 5 sisters and no brothers, and I had a very loving family growing up, parents, and I have a trusting wife whom I love very much. And I live now in Woodstock, Illinois, 20 miles northwest of Elgin, Illinois, and I've been there 31 years. And I've been employed by Elgin Industries for over 40 years in the ever-changing auto industry as a machinist. And, I've always been lucky enough to live a good, healthy lifestyle and enjoyed some traveling, spent time in the woods, fishing, camping, just having a good time. And I actually have played in a folk band when I was growing up and stuff, and sang at folk festivals, and that helped out with my poetry too. So that's a little bit about myself, and I'm very engaged in the community where I live in and around the area too.
It sounds like, again, you have a wonderful family established around you, a beautiful and wonderful wife that you have, nothing but continued success to you and all of your loved ones. And Albert, without further ado, man, because the anchor of today's interview is all about Elgin Poet, Tick, Tick, Time. Tell us a little bit more about your book.
The book starts off on, let's do this first. It goes, the book has 181 pages with 173 poems. Many of the poems are fewer than 100 words, with the shortest poem only 10 words, and that is Man and Woman, page 148. And the poem is very simple and to the heart. It goes, "A flower is to a man what a woman loves." And book starts off with page 9, "The lonely string is in the sky," about the Thanksgiving Day celebration and feast. And the final poem in the book, Elgin Sweeper, it's about cleaning up the streets. It goes sweep. And each page in the book is a different subject matter, whether it's world travel, wilderness, prayers, healing, family, last but not least, love life. And, my poetry is unique in the verse of understanding life's precious moments through the use of everyday experiences that arouse the body and the soul in each of us. And, you read, you dream a bit, and enjoy. And there's many other poems in between that, like I said, world travel, wilderness, prayer, healing, family, and stuff like that, and love life, that bring it all together. And I brought it together in the book, and I want to share it with the world.
Let's talk about two things, okay? One, the title of the book, because I absolutely love it. Listen, man, it is so engaging. It instantly sucks you in, and it really perks your interest. But then also the cover of the book, it has a little, a time watch on there, a stopwatch on there. Talk to us, because I think it's safe to assume the connection that this title and the cover of the book has to the words on the pages. But you know what happens when you assume, Albert, so I'm not going to do that to you. I have you here on the line. I can just come right out and ask. Talk to our listening audience about why you chose that title to be the representation for your book, why you chose that cover to be the face of your book, and the connection that each of them have to the story itself or the poems themselves.
Right. Well, that's a pretty complicated question, because each page is in a different subject. But to make it sweet and short, it goes, well, I grew up and I was raised in the heartland of America, and that's Illinois. That's where Elgin is, right in the middle of everything. We got trains, automobiles, airplanes, farm machinery, and Chicago's not far away. We're in the suburbs, and we're right in the heart of Illinois. Crossroads, what they call, of America. And then so I grew up in that little town of Hampshire, 15 miles west of Elgin, and our once a week trip, we didn't have any grocery stores and stuff out there, so we would take a trip to the big city of Elgin when I was a kid. And you'd always see different people, and just the old watch factory was there, and just the whole river town. It's an old river town, and then so I took this watch. That watch was my grandfather's on the cover now, and I thought, I was looking at it one day, and I go, God, that is how I got to do it. I got to have somebody take a picture of it. And my photographer's name was Sam Brown, and I brought the watch to him, and we laid it out there, and he took that picture, and the glow that comes out of the little glow, the gold cap and everything, really makes a statement. And I love Elgin. Elgin's always had a little tick in my head, and that's how I came up with the book.
Again, here on the line with Albert Carroll. We're discussing his wonderful poetry book, Elgin Poet, Tick Tick Time. Available for purchase through authorspress.com or directly through his personal site, Elgin Poet by albertcarroll.com. Albert, next question that I have to get into, and I say have to because my listening audience is going to get very upset with me if I don't hurry up and ask. Now, we know that this is a poetry book, littered with poems that you have written over the past number of years. Well, listen, as a little bit of a teaser, because my listening audience knows, guys, you want to gather all of the poems? You want to gather everything that Albert has in store? There's no getting around it. I just mentioned the places you have to go. Make sure you head on over there. You pick up your copy yourself today. But since we have you here on the line, Albert, I'd love to take this opportunity. If you have a poem readily available, we'd love to hear it.
Yes, I do. There's one that touches my heart deeply, And the name of the poem is My Eagle. And it's on page 45 of the book, and there's a nice picture of an eagle in there. And I'd like to read this, and I'll read it now. It goes, "Friendship is like that of an eagle. It can soar and glide over the miles, coming to rest upon your shoulder, with eyes of concentration and a grip of comfort and safety within you. Friendship is like that of forever, as the words catch the winds, moving on just to be remembered."
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Albert. Thank you very much for sharing. Listen, curiosity for myself, man. What would you say was a highlight for you in writing this book? Or if not a highlight, maybe something that surprised you that you weren't expecting prior to embarking upon the journey?
Well, what surprised me was like I said, the pandemic came on, and we were all sitting around a little bored and stuff, and I started taking out, I had this stack of like 10 notebooks from over the years, and I said, there's something here. So I made a few calls and got everything together, and I put it together, and then I sent the manuscript in, and 2 weeks later I got a call and said, we usually don't do poetry books too much. We don't see a lot of it, but this book seems to have a little, verse to it, So and that's how it all started.
That's incredible, man. Fantastic. Following off of that, Albert, what are you hoping to see people take from the book?
Well, I hope that if you read the book, and if even one poem touches your heart, it's worth the read. Because a lot of things you read nowadays don't always touch your heart. And I'm certain there's a poem in there with all the different reflections in life's, moving on, origin, or whatever you want to call it. I hope there's one in there for you, and I'm certain there is.
Absolutely. And listen, as we start to tie out of this fantastic interview, Albert, last couple of questions here. I love having this platform, right? I'm an artist myself. My listening audience is very well aware of this. Now, I'm in a different medium. I'm an actor and a filmmaker based here in Los Angeles, but I love having this platform to be able to pay it forward, in a sense, to other artists out there. And in this instance, other writers. Now, Albert, you are someone that has been through the process. Again, you've been writing poems all your life. So that, of course,
yes,
is maybe something that started off as a hobby, but a bona fide poet you are now, because not only have you been writing these poems all your life, but you took it a step further. You put the words on the page, and you actually got the book published as well. And anybody that's been through the process understands that writing the book is only half the battle. So I would love to take this opportunity, Albert. Any words of wisdom, any words of advice that you would offer a new writer, someone out there that's listening in right now that is just starting out? What words of wisdom can you relay to them?
Well, you have to first be a good listener. You have to, as you approach every day, there's always people telling stories. There's always people in different emotions and everything. But you become a writer. You have to first become a listener. And then it seems like all of a sudden the words start flowing. And then you make sure you write them down, and you don't forget them. And like I've told a lot of my friends over the years, it's much more simple than you think. For one reason is all of us have storytellers in the family, but how many people take the time to write them down? That's the main goal.
Great point. Great point. Listen, Albert, I know you didn't intend this to happen, but you just opened up a Pandora's box, at least here within my household, right? Because when my significant other hears this interview, she is going to say, you see, you got to become a better listener, Benji. You got to be a better listener. And I'm going to have to defend myself, Albert. I'm going to have to say, well, listen, that was with regards to writing, okay? That has nothing to do with the relationship. No, joking aside, that is great advice for anyone, right? Whether you're a writer, you're an artist, or just a human being, right? We learn, we grow, we develop in a much faster and better pace when we listen, right? What's the adage? The adage is, it's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Right? So you can do twice the amount of listening and half the amount of talking. So I absolutely love the advice that you gave. I completely second the notion, and I think it's so valuable what you just articulated to our listening audience. Guys, take that and run with it, implement it into your day-to-day lives, whether you're a writer or even if you aren't. Great words of wisdom there for you to steal and you to run with. Albert, listen, I could think of no better way to close out of such a fantastic interview than with another one of your poems, man. So if you have another one readily available, my listening audience and I are all ears.
Yes, I do. I think one that would be really nice is it's on page 76, and it's called Gracefully Age. And here it goes. It goes, time will go by the way. I hope my love towards you will never fade. I don't ever need to tell any lies. There's love, there's no goodbyes. Time will go by the way. My face will wrinkle, my hair will gray. My strength will weaken, and that's fate. Some things in life no one can change. So take it all in stride, gracefully age.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Listen, I know it's never as easy in the moment, right? I mean, there's often times I look back and I'm like, how did I get here? And how am I all of a sudden so old? Like, what happened? Seemed like it was just yesterday that I was a teenager in high school. But gracefully aging, I mean, that's what we all strive for. And wonderful words to really help us stay on that track. And remember.
Well, here's a little snippet to add to it is, the best way to surpass the bumps in the road. Healthy life is a healthy love. Wait, hold on a second. The best way to surpass some of the bumps in the road with a healthy lifestyle. That's what it's all about. Getting over those bumps and living that healthy lifestyle. Even though we've all, whatever you do to, feel a little rough once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, you wake up and you start over again. Not a bad way to think about it either.
No, absolutely. It's a great way to look at it. I absolutely love it. And guys, you know what I love even more? So listen, we're at the end of the interview now, and we've discussed so much. I mean, so much valuable words that we've already picked up. But guys, we've barely scratched the surface. I mean, when you head on over to authorspress.com, Elgin Poet by AlbertCarroll.com, and you pick up your copy of Elgin Poet, Tick Tick Time, you are going to find so much more. We covered 2 poems. The book has over 170. I mean, listen, do yourself a favor. I generally like to end my shows with a spiel, with offering a reflection. Guys, it doesn't even seem right to do that in this instance. Albert took it away. I mean, listen, if this hasn't moved you, pinch yourself. I don't know what's going on. But you know what you have to do. Pick up this book. It's a wonderful book for you to have on your shelves, but it's an even better gift for you to get for someone else's. So head on over there and pick up your copies today. You surely will not be disappointed. Albert, this has been such a pleasure, man, and an absolute honor. Thank you once again for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction.
All right, thank you very much, and I really enjoyed it myself. I'm looking forward to the release, and it's just a wonderful time in my life to have achieved something and be willing to share this with the world. So with that said, dream a bit and enjoy. Yours truly, the Elgin Poet.